we're back, and we're in the studio once again, and we were talking about LG's offerings of 4K sets. Now, many of you have heard about 4K sets. When you go into Best Buy, when you're going to Tiger Direct, coming up, you're going to be hit with a lot of these 4K sets, and they're going to make it look good. You're going to say, oh man, this TV looks good. You know, how much is it? $7,000. And for those of you that have the money, you might feel like, man, I need to buy this thing. But let me tell you, and while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and put the picture up of the LG offerings again real quick. Let me tell you about the 4K sets that are coming out right now. Now, this is the LG 4K sets that they're coming out with right now. But you have to remember, the one important thing is that there is no content for that pushes 4K right now. There's no content. So if you buy a 4K set, yes, they might have upscaling, like they say they're going to have upscaling. Upscaling is never as good, never as crisp as native content. Just like your 1080p, you might have like a DVD player back in the days that upscales to 1080p, yes, but it never looks as good as a 1080p native content video. So you get a Blu-ray, right? That's in high definition, Blu-ray. It's never going to look as good as that because it's upscaling, but it still doesn't have the same quality resolution. It's just like with 3D. If a movie isn't natively shot in 3D, adding 3D effects doesn't give you the same depth as a movie that was shot natively in 3D. Now, right now, there is no 4K content, or very little 4K content out there. So to go out and buy a 4K TV right now does not make any sense. That might be what people are saying, yes, man, this gives you clear, but don't get fooled. Because when you go into Best Buy, when you go into Tiger Direct, they have 4K content. They have 4K video that they're playing on the TV. That's why it looks so good in the store. You go home, you will not get that same level of quality because the signal being pumped into your house doesn't matter whether you have DirecTV, Dish TV, AT&T Uverse, Comcast, Xfinity, doesn't matter what you have, doesn't even matter if you have Blu-ray. If you don't, none of those things deliver 4K content, and especially over the air. I mean, the bandwidth restrictions are just so high that you're not going to get anywhere near even Blu-ray quality from anything like, so even the high definition that you see is offered on these cable companies like Comcast, AT&T, Uverse, Xfinity, and stuff like that. Their high definition pales in comparison to a Blu-ray disc. So if they can't even give you high definition with the bandwidth caps that cable companies have put on cable download streams, you're not going to get 4K content. That's all there is to it. So if I were you or anyone out there listening, do not get any kind of 4K set right now. It's not, there's no real content to support it. It doesn't make any sense, and you're spending a lot of money for a TV that you're not going to be able to truly appreciate until a few years down the line. Sony is coming out with a 4K Blu-ray player this summer with about 8 movies or stuff like that, but that's it. And then later in the between October and November, they're saying they're coming out with a few more movies. But that's it. That, to me, that's not worth spending $8,000, $7,000 on a set that I cannot watch in 4K every time I turn it on. So, just so buyer beware, you can go and buy a 4K set and just leave the name tag on it that says 4K, because when someone comes over, there's no way they're going to know that's a 4K set with the stream that you have coming in. The only way they're going to know is if you tell them, look, I have a 4K set. That's it. They're not going to know it by looking at the picture because the signal coming in is not in 4K. So therefore, you will not see that 4K crisp, clear color. And the picture is optimized in the stores to make you see the way they want you to see. So I wouldn't do it, but hey, to each his own. Now, speaking of companies that are coming out with things that really need to be streamlined, Microsoft has finally decided to cut the price of their Surface RT tablets. Now, this is coming out of IGN. This story coming out of IGN, and if you know, IGN is a top gaming publication. They picked up on this story, and they reported that Microsoft is slashing the price of the Surface RT, yes, Surface RT, to a little more manageable $349. The 64 gigabyte base model will retail for $449. Now, Microsoft Surface has had a tough road thus far, despite Microsoft's assurance that its hybrid tablet was pushing record revenue. That's what they said anyway. The company is apparently planning to cut the price of the Surface by a considerable margin, according to a report by The Verge. Microsoft will soon lower the price of its entry-level 32 gigabyte Surface RT to only $349. The price cut seemingly confirmed this week by an ad from Staples. The Surface RT will allegedly receive a $150 price cut. Granted, the move could be a part of an as yet announced or unannounced plan to upgrade the Surface line to Intel's new Haswell processors. Microsoft passively hinted at new Surface tablets during its World Partner Conference earlier this week. The 32 gigabyte Surface RT currently retails for $500. So it's going to be slashed to $349. Now, the 32 gigabyte Surface and the 64 gigabyte Surface will get those price cuts, with the 65 gigabyte RT model going down to $449. The same models with a touch cover will retail for an additional $100, with the 32 and 64 gigabytes selling for $499 and $599 respectively. No word on whether the Surface Pro will receive such a discount, but I can tell you now that the reason why Microsoft, they're saying they're getting record sales of their RT tablets, record sales maybe by their standards or whatever standards they're talking about. I don't know what standards they're talking about, but the Surface RT hasn't sold well. When you look at the numbers from the Best Buys, from the Tiger Directs, from all those different retailers, Surface RT has not sold well. They haven't. And that's simply because of the functionality limitations of Windows RT. And we've said that here on Tech Pulse for a while now. The functionality limitations of the Surface RT is just appalling compared to the actual Windows 8 tablets. You know, I mean, the Windows Pro, Windows Surface Pro, the Windows 8 is much better. This RT, which is a really scaled down, stripped down version of Windows 8 with such limited functionality, if I'm going to spend $500, I want function. You see, and RT just didn't provide enough function for people to spend that amount of money. It's not like I'm spending $100 or I'm going to spend $150. So you say to yourself, well, you're only spending $150 anyway, so you know that's what you get. You know, you're not gonna really get anything big. I get that, but if I'm gonna spend $500 and then $600 on an RT tablet, forget about the 32 and 64 gigabyte capacity. I'm talking about the functionality of the thing. If I'm gonna spend big money like that, I want functionality. And Microsoft didn't deliver with their RT. That was supposed to be their budget tablets, because the Surface Pro sells for much more, $800, $900, and you know, I mean, you get full Windows 8 on the Surface Pro. But this RT, $500, it wasn't selling because Windows RT is such a poor, in my opinion, a poor function tablet. So Microsoft has to slash the price. I don't even know at $349 if that's going to be enough to sell units of the RT. I don't know. I mean, they would have to put that in Nexus category, like $199. Then I think people would buy it. I think people would buy it as a second tablet. I think people would buy it. But $349, you can still get the Samsung Galaxy Note. You can still get Asus Transformer. You can still get Acer Iconias with far more functionality using the Android-based operating system than you can with the Windows RT, and they're cheaper. So I don't know. Microsoft is going to have to really price this thing competitively if they want to see any more movement. And when I say competitively, I'm talking $299 and below. I think they have to price that, and then they'll see some up sales when it comes to Windows RT. Right now, with Windows RT being such a mess and being so limited, I just don't see Microsoft being able to move much more units, even though they start the price $150 at $350. And then if you want the keyboard, it's going to be back to $449 for the same functionality. So I just Microsoft has to do, if they're going to do that, maybe throw the keyboard in free. You know, you have to do something. Just slashing it $150 and thinking that, well, it's $350. No, that's still way too high, in my opinion, to see any decent movement with Microsoft Surface RT. Well, we're coming up on a break. And after the break now, we're keeping it with the tablet theme. For those of you that were looking for a tablet for yourself, now you know that Windows RT may not be the tablet for you. But if you're looking for a tablet for your child, a tablet for your son or daughter, young, going back to school, you want them to have a tablet, the XO tablet for kids arrives in Walmart on July 16th. And we're going to show you a video of this thing. This might just be the tablet you want for your child coming up. Maybe. You're going to have to stay here on Tech Pulse to see. Also, the Mini X Neo X7 Android 4.2 Jelly Bean TV set-top box has been unveiled. All of this and more, keeping you up to date right after these messages. So get ready. We're coming right back right after these words. Yeah, I mean, truly, we'll be right back. Just stay tuned. Nope, haven't gone anywhere yet. Still here.